All right, so here we go with 2.4, one of my most favoriteest sections in all of Chapter 2, the product and the quotient rules. Okay, product means what? Multiply. Quotient implies divide. Rules imply punishment, right? Right, rules. Don't break the rules. You'll get turned in on the P3 app. Okay? All right. So here we go. A couple of bullet points to address before we start. F of x is the y value generating quote-unquote machine, right? It's amazing how people forget how to find y values. They're like, how do we find the y value? You plug it back into the function that you were handed at the beginning of the problem, like in Algebra 1. Oh, yeah, I forgot, right? So how do we generate y values? If I give you an x value, you plug it into what? The original function. F of x is your y value generating machine. And then closely related is his kin, f prime. They have the same first name, right? Like most families that really have the same last name, these guys have the same first name. Fred and Fred prime is the slope value generating machine. So if you ever need a slope at a point, use the derivative. If you ever need a y value at a point, use f, right? If you ever want an instantaneous position, use f. If you ever want an instantaneous rate of change, use what? Fred prime. Good. Got it? F is y, f prime is slope, which is m. Confused yet? No. Okay, good. Let me show you first the incorrect product rule. This is not how you take the derivative of a product. It's helpful to see what is not the rule first so that you know to avoid it. The derivative of a product is the product of the derivatives. Not true. Okay? So if you have like a function f times a function g, you cannot just take the derivative of the first and the derivative of the second and multiply them together. If that were a plus sign in betwixt the two, would that work? Yes, that would work. Or a minus sign. That's the sum and difference rule, and that works. You can just go down the line. But not so with products. So that's the bad news. It's not that simple. The good news is there is a correct product rule. And here's what it says. The derivative of a product, f times g, is f prime g plus fg prime. That sounds nice, doesn't it? The derivative of f times g is f prime g plus fg prime. 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 You into it? I was hoping other people would start like clapping. But he moved his head. That's good. Yeah. Okay. Y'all aren't my advisory class, so we're not that close yet. F prime g plus fg prime. So here's the good news. Rachel's challenge is visible in the product rule. I have two functions, f and g. I'm going to take the derivative of each one, yes, but we're going to take turns, okay? So in the first term, g says, you know what, f, you're listed first. Why don't you go ahead and differentiate, help me out, differentiate. Why don't you differentiate, thank you, yourself? And he's like, that sounds like an insult. And he's like, no. I didn't say go factor yourself. I said go differentiate yourself. So he's like, oh, okay, I misunderstood. So here we go. The derivative of f is f prime times g is just a watching. He's just a standing there for support. He's just a going along for the ride the first time. And then plus, always plus. And now f was like, man, that was exhilarating, G. You should try that. And he's like, I'm about to. Right? So f says you go, g. F just gets rewritten, and g goes. So they each get their own term. They get their own term to highlight their derivativeness. And the other factor is just there for support. Okay, so that's a product of two guys. What if you had the derivative with respect to x of f times g times h? Now you got three variable factors. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have how many terms? Three. If you have two factors, you're going to have two terms. So here's what it goes. F, you go first. Okay, f prime times, now g and h just go along for support. Plus, whose turn is it next? It's g, so f goes along for the ride, and it's g's turn to shine, g prime times h. Plus, last but not least, it's h's turn. So f and g just go along for the ride times h prime. So you see how we can expand this now to any number of factors. You kind of pick up on the pattern. You will always have the same number of terms as you have factors. You got it? you will always have the same number of terms as you have factors. And all you have to do is just remember Rachel's challenge, take terms. One derivative per term. You ready to try it out? Example 1. The derivative of g, where g is x times 5x minus 3x squared. Do we have a product? Indeed we do. We have a variable function x times a variable function there. So here we go. G prime of x is, it's the derivative of x, which is 1, times the derivative of that, which is 5 minus 6x, right? How selfish of those factors, right? They both went at the same time. That is not right. That is the correct way to do the incorrect product rule. Let's do it the right way. Okay, g prime of x. X is first, so let's take the derivative of x. What's the derivative of x? 1. The second factor, remember, he's just there. He's for support. He's cheering him on. You go, x. Nice job. Plus, now x is like, your turn. And the other guy's like, thank you. You are so nice. You are too. The derivative of the next one is 5 minus 6x. And we're done. How many factors did we start with? 2. How many terms do we have? 2. That's it. Now, after lunch, we'll come back to that, and we'll simplify it. But at this point, the calculus is over, and there's just algebra left on the bone, okay? So there you go. Product rule. F prime G plus FG prime. F prime G plus FG prime.